Respected Venerable Wei Wu, venerable members of the Sangha, our dear friend and moderator for this dialogue, Brother Benny Liao, Uncle Vijay, Buddhist leaders of various traditions, sisters and brothers. Good morning. Namo Buddhaya. Firstly, I'd like to applaud Than Hsiang Foundation and Venerable Wei Wu, as well as Brother Benny, for coming up with this very wonderful idea to host such a dialogue in the Klang Valley to clarify many misunderstandings about Chinese Buddhism. In fact, Venerable Wei Wu pointed out very succinctly that there is a difference between Mahayana Buddhism and Chinese Buddhism, because Mahayana Buddhism also originated in India, it was practiced in India, and if we were to go back in time and see the practice of Mahayana in India, we would be surprised that it was so different compared to what we are climatized today. So this dialogue has been very successful in clarifying many points. Of course, there are many more that needs to be addressed, and I hope this is the beginning of a series of dialogues, not just on Mahayana Buddhism, but also the Vajrayana and the Theravada schools can also organize such gatherings where followers and devotees of many centers and of various traditions come together to understand each other. By clapping more, we are very healthy today. More importantly, we have a healthy understanding of Buddhism, closer and closer to the essence of what the Buddha taught. Many years ago, once upon a time, the International Buddhist College, headed by Venerable Wei Wu, contacted me and asked me to help teach Master of Arts in Buddhist Studies course here in Thamwa 1. The subject given to me was Chinese Buddhism. I said I am from the Pali tradition, and although I have studied Chinese Buddhist thoughts before, but I don't think I am the right person to teach this subject. And they said, well, we don't have the suitable candidate here in the Klang Valley. Why not you Teng Ju Tong? I had to do a serious revision of Chinese philosophy in Buddhism, especially the Madhyamika and Yoga-Vajra schools of thoughts, which were very, very deep. And from teaching that course and my own revision, I learned new things, or rather I see things from new perspective. And I could also see that how little Mahayana Buddhists understand Mahayana philosophies. We cannot see Mahayana Buddhism from just the rituals and just the liturgies that we conduct in our temples alone. We cannot also see Mahayana Buddhism from a philosophical point of view alone. We cannot just do comparative studies between the sutras and the sastras and the Abhidharmas alone. We have to see it in totality. And the same goes for Theravada Buddhism. Coming from that tradition, I can also safely say that many Theravadins don't know that much about Theravada Buddhism. Similarly, Vajrayana and their followers. So it is imperative for all of us to learn more about our own traditions. Mahayana or Chinese Buddhists learn about Chinese Buddhist philosophies and traditions in totality. So too Theravadins, and so too the Vajrayana followers. Today, as Venerable Wei Wu pointed out, it is not so difficult. We have resources. We have a lot of books that have been written that were not available 50 years ago. Today we have scholars, we have universities, we have one so close to us. we can make use of all these facilities to deepen our understanding and also to widen our view of Buddhism in totality. This country is very unique. We have complete, what do you call it? MTV. Majority of Buddhists in Malaysia belongs to Mahayana schools of Buddhism, specifically Chinese Buddhism, followed by Theravadan tradition, and also now growing numbers of Vajrayana Buddhist. But occasions like this, other conferences, seminars, even Vesak Day and Katina, we all come together as one. There are, of course, some minorities. Minority of Chinese Buddhists who still see the Theravadins as Hinayana. And there are also Puritan Theravadins who think that Mahayana is a corrupted practice. But I think the majority of Malaysian Buddhists are wiser than that. We can see that there are elements of Dharma in all these wonderful traditions. There's a lot of wisdom in all these things. It's just like a Buddhist flag. So many colors. It's not only one color. But when you put all those colors together, they are all of equal width, equal bands. We have those that follow the Mahayana tradition, one color. We have those that follow the Vajrayana color, another tradition. We have those that follow the Theravada tradition, another color. We have those that say we are Buddhists but know nothing, and then one color. And the last one, we have people who say, I follow every tradition, so all the colors are there. But when we put the flag together and when we fly the flag, we all feel very proud. This is harmony. This is unity in harmony. This is samagi. This is coming together without arguing, without fighting. This is what we need to do. This is what we need to go on doing. So I propose 3 things today. Number 1, as Buddhists, Malaysian Buddhists of all traditions, let us help ourselves with all the resources available and also help other Buddhists to understand the essence, the practice of our own tradition in totality. This is number 1. Understand our own traditions, our own teachings and practices, and start practicing. Number 2, understand other Buddhist traditions. I have to strive to understand Mahayana Buddhism all over again every year. I also am learning about the Vajrayana traditions from our good friends from the Vajrayana Buddhist Council. And I am also learning Theravada traditions. There are many Theravada traditions, many schools of Theravada thoughts as well. Let us come to have better understanding and mutual respect between all traditions. This is number 2. And number 3, when we have done all that understanding, let us come together and pool our resources to help not just the Buddhist community, but the world community to free ourselves from materialism and ignorance, from greed, from hatred, and from delusion. We have to come together to do that. And this is the essence of the Dharma. The Dharma is like the medicine. 佛为医王，法为良药. This Dharma is the medicine to cure the cancer of ignorance. Of course, some prefer chemotherapy, but sometimes chemotherapy and radiotherapy cannot help a cancer patient. They go to Ayurveda and they are cured. Some go to Chinese medicine, cured. Dharma is like that. It is found in all these traditions. Not any of those traditions better than others. It is like what Venerable Wei Wu said. It could be the best for me, but may not be the best for everyone. So we have to live with that reality. We have to respect, and we, more than respect and tolerance, we have to understand. But then, we have to come together to have more such dialogues so that we can understand better. In dialogues, we can explain our own beliefs and doctrines and philosophies and practice in a friendly manner, like what Venerable Wei Wu did. I don't think his voice was hypnotizing, and no, in fact, we were all hypnotized, but didn't fall into coma. We were awakened by that hypnotizing message. That was wonderful. In a friendly way, not promoting Mahayana Buddhism, but explaining it. And we did the right thing too. We listened with open hearts and open minds. This is the essence of learning Dhamma. We cannot just be closed off. Oh, this is not our tradition, our monk, our teacher, our teaching. Close our minds. Then we learn very little. We have to recognize that there are a lot of things in common, yet we don't force everything into one. There is no one Buddhism that suits everyone. We have to recognize that there are commonalities, but there are also differences, but we can live with that. The Buddha himself said, Ekang hi sachang na duthiya mati, yasmin bhajano vivadi bhajanang. In all these disciples, whatever their doctrines, whatever they teach to their own disciples, there are these elements of Dharma. But truth is but one. There is no second version. If we understand this doctrine, then there is no disputation. Those who understand do not argue. Those who argue do not understand. Also, there is a Mahayana text in a similar vein. It's called Jnanasara Samuchaya. In Sanskrit, it says, Tapashidashcha nikarshash varnangiva panditaih pariksha bishavograhyang mat vacho natu garawat. This is in Mahayana text, very beautifully said. He said, just like the goldsmith, if you were to give him a lump of metal and say that this is gold, he would test it first. Even so, whatever we have learned, we have to use wisdom. The right instrument is wisdom and knowledge to test whether this is Dharma. And when we find that the Dharma element is contained there, then just accept that Dharma. So, for Buddhists, we have to go beyond just rituals. We have to go beyond just liturgies. We have to go beyond just I believe. I identify myself as Buddhist. We have to go beyond the greed, the aversion, and the delusion as a samsaric being. We have to use the Dharma, whatever the tradition, to make ourselves proud, worthy, noble, wholesome students of Shakyamuni Buddha. So I'd like to, with that, conclude and congratulate Venerable Wei Wu, Than Hsiang Foundation, and the dozen co-organizers of today's dialogue. We are very proud and honored to be part of this dialogue, and we sincerely wish there are more to come. Don't you wish so too? Yeah. So thank you very much, Venerable, and have a pleasant journey ahead, learning, practicing, and realizing this cure for the cancer of ignorance, the Buddha Dharma. Namo Buddhaya.